Hello.
Hey.
I was waiting for the next song to start to see what it
Oh,
was before talking, and it turns out it was Devil Joe's song, so I was like, you know what? Now it's like now this whole show today has like a foreboding sense to it, you know?
yes.
It's like, oh shit.
I saw you on Deafin and you didn't say anything. I was like, is he waiting for me to say something? Am I supposed to open this
No,
time? What?
it's you're gonna solo carry the podcast today.
No, my worst nightmare.
It's what you've always dreamed of, finally. A podcast without Tam or Karada.
Ugh,
Well,
no.
you're halfway there today, because Karada is busy today,
Yeah.
so it's just going to be the Forrest and Tam show.
Yep.
So if you're,
Woo.
yep. So, we have a few things to talk about today. If you've taken a look at the title, you can see that Capcom is pretty happy about Monster Hunter World.
Oh
But
yeah.
we'll get into that and some more things in a bit. But first, Forest Raider.
Yes, Tam jamming.
And I think that's like the first time I formally referred to you as Forest Raider.
I know, I had to call you Tam jamming back and it felt
I
weird.
know. It's like yeah.
We should introduce ourselves though. I feel like, we need to follow a podcast format
Oh
ish.
yeah. No. I'm Tam Jamming, but you can call me Tam, and with me, as always, is the lovely Forest Raider.
Hello. Wow.
And not with us right now, but usually with us is Karada-sama. Karada, can you say hi to the audience, please? Ohio.
Alright.
Okay.
Ohio.
Ohio. There you go. And
um
so Forrest, what have you been up to for the past
um
7 days?
oh my god. I actually just remembered this because I was like opening up some tabs, but so I within this week I started to mess around with some OBS audio stuff
Okay.
because I had never used Voice Meter before, which I wanted to split my audio for
Mm.
Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pain.
It's like it's tough the first go around, but once you know the ins and outs and like what's going on, it becomes much more manageable.
Yeah. Like, now that everything's working,
Mm-hmm.
it's much easier, but I literally spent that like, cause someone did recommend me, like, I should probably split up my audios, make it easier to mute, like, Discord and, like, you know, be able to manage that, like, if someone's really loud or whatever. But, oh boy, it took an entire day of just, like, trying to figure out virtual cables and, like, why my audio was stuttering and, like, it still kind of stutters here and there if I don't have, like, a certain application open, which is
Mm-hmm.
really weird, and, like, whenever I try to, like, plug in something new or unplug something, my computer's like, "What did you do? Why are you doing
No,
things?"
cover
It's
that
like,
hole
"I don't
back
know."
up. No, stop! I'm exposed. Ow.
No, that's literally what's happening. It's just like it's screaming at me and I'm screaming back because I don't know what I did, and then it's a mess, but then it, like, slowly figures it out.
That's good. Yeah, I used to
Um,
use Voice Meter when I streamed Apex Legends, and this was like way back. This is like an
oh
eternity
shit.
ago. Yeah.
Dang.
Um, when I would have like music on, but I also wanted to hear the game because, like, obviously for a game like that, you gotta be able to hear like footsteps and shit.
Yeah.
So, but I would have music on for the audience. So I would
Mhm.
have the music playing on stream, but I wouldn't be able to hear the music because of the way I configured Voice Meter with OBS. I don't do that anymore, but yeah, I definitely know the pain of
Yeah.
trying to figure all that out.
Yep.
But
Cuckoo.
in the end, you got it to work how you wanted.
Yeah, it all works. Now I'm just kind of experiencing the pain that, like, because what I've also done this week is stream Luigi's Mansion.
Oh,
I
Luigi
just finished it.
Mansion. Oh
Luigi
shit.
Guigi.
How
Yes.
was that? So did
It
you
was
play it co-op?
no, I think co-op is only local, and I
Oh,
don't have
okay.
anyone here to play it with.
Oh.
So I was all on my lonesome with Guigi and
Mhm.
Luigi. No, it was honestly a lot of fun. Like a lot of oh. Yeah, this part in the sorry. Um Yeah, no, honestly, the game, like, I played it when it first came out. I got it literally the first week, and I played through it. So this was my first time playing it in 2 years or so. Really fun, like, really fun to stream, really fun to be able to just, I don't know, just suck up everything and just clean the entire hotel.
Did you play the other Luigi's Mansion games?
No, I had a GameCube, but I never got my hands on the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one was on the 3DS, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I heard that people didn't like the second one though.
It's it's one of those weird cases where like if you were a big fan of the first game, the 3DS version might have felt like a downgrade in a way, I guess.
Mm,
It was during that era of like Nintendo pushing like really big titles onto the 3DS, a platform
yeah.
that like everyone would have preferred not to play, but everyone played anyway because it was the only thing you had, you know?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah,
That's
it's just
yeah.
kinda like you put up with it.
Yeah, yeah, you kind of put up with it because you're like, ah, I want to play Luigi's Mansion, but I gotta play it on a 3DS. Like,
And it's gonna
oh,
be, like, lower graphics and stuff,
yeah. Hot
but
take.
yeah,
I'm glad the 3DS is kind of dead now.
it's kinda done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I even when I was, like, looking, I think I went to, like, a EB Games the other day, and I asked them if they had any 3DS games because 'cause I'm always just curious to see what I can get.
Right.
They had nothing. They were like,
Nothing.
"No, sorry, we're not selling 3DS games anymore," and it's like, "Bruh."
Right.
'Cause the lame
It's.
thing is, well, I don't know, I got into the 3DS kinda late. I only got it, like, 3 years ago or something.
I literally got a 3DS to play Monster Hunter.
Same though.
And if it was available on any other platform at the time, I probably would have played it on that.
Yeah.
Like that's like a lot of the reason why like us in our circle got 3DSs was because that was the only way you could play the newest Monster Hunter
Yeah.
games, and that's how it was for like
Yeah.
5 years, uh, even
And
more, I
then,
guess.
yeah, other legal ways came out, of course.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, no, so I played through Luigi's Mansion 3. It was actually really fun. It was, I didn't realize that, like, I don't know, the game was kinda short, but then it was like it also extended some parts out, which was really cool.
that's kind of Nintendo's wheelhouse, all right. Like kind of
Yeah,
short experiences.
yeah, but
Sort of deal.
also still bursting with personality and, like, really unique stuff and everything. It had some really cool bosses. The aiming was a little bit weird at times. It was kinda like I remember when I first played it, I got a little bit frustrated at parts, but then it was like playing through it again, especially on stream, like, I'm not gonna get angry.
Hmm.
So it was fine to play it again and try it out. Yeah, no, honestly, like, I do really wanna try out the online multiplayer because I think there's, like, the Scare Park or Scare Scraper or something.
And you all play
I
as
don't know.
Guigi's, all right?
I think you just play as Luigi and then you have Luigi with you,
Okay,
but you're, like, gonna try to capture as many ghosts as you can, I think,
right.
if I remember.
So is the control like with the right stick you use to control it, or is it like a
Yeah.
gyroscope sort of thing? Okay.
There's both. You can have gyro along with the right stick, so I think I have a little bit of gyro, but it's really
Mm.
slow.
It seems
It's
like
just
an
like
ideal game for like the Wii era with the nunchuck and the Wiimote, and
yeah,
then using it to like like that.
yeah.
I feel like
No,
a Luigi's Mansion game should have been on the Wii.
it probably should've, especially with, like, being able to use your Wiimote to kinda aim around and everything.
Hmm.
But, yeah, no, it's a really creative game, and, like, even with, like, this main menu, like, we're watching a clip from my stream for audio listeners, you can see how the entire screen is red. That's because you're actually using a Virtual Boy, for your
Oh,
menu.
is it literally a Virtual Boy?
It's literally a Virtual Boy, but
Oh, that's brilliant.
they called it Virtual Boo in the game.
Okay.
And EGAD was like, "Oh, this thing is gonna fly off the shelves, just you wait."
Nice little lampshade there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, they're mocking their own
Oh,
invention
even
and
it even has
everything.
that shitty like grid layout.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So, the fact that they're just, like, so willing to poke fun at their own, like,
Yeah.
mistakes and everything, like,
Hmm.
it's really cute.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
So
you did finish it then.
Yeah, it only took me about 3 or 4 streams, I wanna say, to get through the game.
Okay,
I think my final playtime was, like, probably 14 hours or something, 13.
that sounds about
So,
right for
yeah.
a Luigi's Mansion game.
Yeah,
Doesn't
no,
outstay its welcome, gives you just enough to like be like, yeah, that was a satisfying video game experience.
exactly, and if you really want to, you can go back to 100% it with, like, getting I think there's, like, 6 gems on each floor, there's 15 floors.
Hmm.
I think there's a boo on every floor as well that you can capture, so there's still, like, quite a lot to do. I might go back and do that just off stream, but we'll see.
Mm.
But yeah, so I streamed that this week. Otherwise, I've just kind of been hanging around doing some more Final Fantasy here and there. What have I been doing in the game again?
You haven't
I've been
progressed in the
mainly
story at all, right? Because you've
no.
been waiting on Skoy for that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to catch up, which he is. I think he just did the library dungeon.
Level
What's it called
59.
again?
Great Google Library.
Great Google.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Goble,
I
like the
wouldn't blame you. I don't
monster.
blame you, yeah.
It's so he just did that library, really cool dungeon. Um yeah, no, he's having a lot of fun with it. I can tell,
How
and I
you
don't blame him.
doing
Huh?
how you doing on your animal weapon?
So I'm working on the Beast Tribe stuff right now to get the materials.
Mm.
Because I think you need like the seeds, the bones, the ore, all of that stuff, and I think you need like 10 of each or something.
Something like
Which,
that, yeah. Great for leveling
yeah.
Nault, by the way.
Oh yeah, like I've been having fun with it still. It's just kind of like, I'll just turn my brain off, put on like some music or something, and go do my 12 allowances or whatever.
Hmm.
And yeah, no, so I've been focusing on Beast Tribe quite a bit. Um, and yeah, no, I've just kind of been looking around. I'm leveling up White Mage on the side currently, so
Oh
yeah,
shit. You
yeah.
jumping ship from Astro to White Mage or
It yeah, but then it's kind of like it's so boring
White
to
Mage
go
is, yeah.
from
Like once you start with Astro and then you move to White Mage, you're like,
yeah.
I
This
don't
is
have a card
brain dead.
button. I can't buff my. All I can do is just
No.
damage and heal.
And like half the time I can't even use like my regen. It's just kind of like I can do a little bit of damage and then I heal occasionally, but then it's like you use cure 1 so then you can like have the chance to not use any MP for cure 2, but it's
Oh,
just like I
once you have Cure 2, throw Cure 1 in the garbage.
it's okay.
Like, don't even, like, Cure 1 doesn't matter after you have Cure 2. Just use Cure 2. The only
Yeah,
reason to use Cure 1 after you get Cure 2 is if you're, like, in low level content and you don't have Cure 2 unlocked in it.
that's true.
But, like,
Which yeah, I always hate that when I like am suddenly put into like the Copperbell mine and like I have like my level 2 healing spell
hmm,
and then like suddenly the tank is dying and I'm like, why aren't I healing? Ah!
yeah. It's like
So
the free Cure trait that they give you where it's like 50% chance Cure 2 doesn't take any MP. It's trash.
okay.
It's so unreliable, and Cure 1's not something you want to be spamming anyway. So
Mm,
it's just Cure 2 all the way. Same with like the Benefic 2 on Astro,
yeah.
you know.
Um yeah, so I've been having decent fun with White Mage. I'm kind of just waiting for it to pick up a little bit and I unlock more skills and stuff.
Once you get holy.
So yeah, I think I'm only at like level 40 for White Mage, I want
Okay.
to say.
So you're getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I tried out Blue Mage.
Yeah,
I
I witnessed
smacked
that.
yeah, you randomly came by and you're like, "Oh, okay." And then you smacked monsters with fish with me.
Yeah,
I literally spent an hour just smacking monsters with fish.
that's the strat. That's the
It
strat.
was yeah.
But Blue Mage is like it's less of a job and more of like a side mini game. Because you
Yeah.
can't take it into like normal content. You
No.
have to be like very specific circumstances where you can use Blue Mage. You can't
Yeah.
use it in Duty Finder, all these sorts of things. It's like I guess it's the most balanced way to do Blue Mage because traditionally in Final Fantasy, Blue Mage is either like absolute garbage or the most OP broken bonkers shit ever. You know?
Yeah. That's what I've heard from people, that it's just, like, it's extremely broken, but you can't
Mm-hmm.
do anything with it.
Yeah, yeah. FF14 leans towards the more broken side. There are
Yeah.
examples of blue mages in Final Fantasy being a little underpowered. Like Final Fantasy X had Kimari, who was a blue mage dragoon.
Oh?
Yeah, he used the lance, and he uses the signature lancet ability to absorb like enemy skills.
Mm,
But his stats were like so terrible. It was like, why would you ever use this guy?
yeah.
Um, but then you have other examples of like blue mages being absolutely busted. Like in Final Fantasy VIII, the blue mage mommy Kistis, who used a whip. So yes,
Oh,
mommy. Um,
nice.
she
I'm interested.
you could get her to be absolutely bonkers, insane, powerful, depending on what skills you got. So like yeah, FF14 leans into the yeah, we're just gonna make this batshit crazy, overpowered, but not let you use it in most content. So have fun.
Well, it is really cool how they do it as well, because, like, you gotta unlock your spells and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so far I've only experienced, like, discovering the overworld ones, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, like, I don't know exactly how everything works with it, like, if you have to go into dungeon, or sorry, you can't go into dungeons, but I
You
don't know
can, you
everything.
can, you can if you go in an undersized party or a pre-made party.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, no, so I messed around with that for a little bit, and yeah, that's pretty much been my week.
Good shit. Well,
Yeah.
I'll
How
stay
about
on the
yours?
topic of Final Fantasy 14. I guess this is all I'm going to talk about this week. Is like, I mean, like I did some Monster Hunter and some Metroid Dread, but like nothing that you haven't heard from my mouth already about those two. But for Final Fantasy 14, I discovered two new pastimes. Um, and they kind of go hand in hand with each other. The first is crime, which is a just a
You're a criminal now.
yeah, I'm a criminal using third party software to just
Yep.
like manipulate my character's G pose to take all sorts of cool screenshots. It doesn't have any gameplay bearing at all,
No,
mind you.
yeah.
Like nothing gameplay breaking or anything. It's literally just for like, photography and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um because my friends who play FF14, like they love to take screenshots of their characters. Like
Yeah.
borderline obsessed. Nothing wrong with it either. In fact, the reason I got into it is because of them, and they taught me how to use all these tools and everything to like, set up these really cool shots. So I was taking shots, posting them, and was like, spending the better part of many evenings this week just playing with my virtual cat girl.
Playing
Posing.
with my
That's
virtual
probably
cat.
why I have so many figures. Is because I just like arranging them and like posing them in like cool like action poses and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
You
this is
got an
kind
eye
of the same.
for.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, and so now my character has a Twitter account. So
That didn't take long.
if you wanna follow Junjo on Twitter, it's just twitter.com/Jun_on_fire. And you can see all the wonderful photography. It's something that I do professionally anyway, not the model side,
Yeah.
the photography side. So it's like, it makes sense why I do enjoy doing this so much.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
a lot of fun. On the other end is the the RP section of Final Fantasy 14, which um I think Monday was the first ever club venue I went to in FF14, and you're like, for anyone who's listening who's absolutely confused, like you're not mishearing me. Like there are player run clubs in Final Fantasy 14. Um and that's like it's what you'd expect, there's like really bumping music. Sometimes the DJ will be like, "Hey, head over to this Twitch channel," and that's where the music's at. Um and people just like, go into the like housing districts, go into the basement and fucking dance. And it's great. In fact, we were partying on stream, which with one of our streamer friends, Teru Miyanaga 2020, which I'm gonna pull up right now. This is one of the clubs we went to. You can see me. I'm the redhead on the right side. I'm JW right there.
Yep.
But there's some interesting things that happened last night when we went out clubbing.
It was something.
Yeah, let me there was a point where we went to a club in Shirogane, which is the housing
looks
district
amazing, by
in
the way.
Kugane. Yeah, these people go hard on this
Yeah.
clubbing stuff. But one of our more extroverted friends got pretty close to one of the club owners.
Oh my god.
They were talking to talk and walking to walk. And what made it even more hilarious is both of their titles were Annihilator.
Oh my god.
So it's like, oh my god, match made in heaven. We were so invested.
Yeah.
So like the club owner, or like I don't know if it was the club owner or if it was like, you know, a friend of the club owners. I don't know, but like, she essentially was like, "You're not ready for what I've got in store for you. Like meet me at the end of the night," or something like that.
Oh my god.
And so mysteriously, our friend and that club owner like head upstairs. So then I get the idea. I was like, "Oh shit, let's follow them and see like what goes on." So it's like we start sneaking upstairs, and like the way the upstairs entrance is constructed, it's like the stairwell is concealed by like a bookshelf. So we were like standing behind the bookshelf, just like peeping over, seeing what they were doing at the entrance door, and they were kind of just talking. And we were all in the party, and then all of a sudden in party chat, our friend is like, "Sorry guys, I gotta drop party," and then he leaves the party. So we're like, "What the fuck is going on right now? What are they talking about right now?" They're like obviously whispering with each other, and we were just like standing there, like just like casually, just snooping behind a bookshelf. And Terror right now on stream doesn't have this mod, but I have a mod where say chat appears like as a bubble above your head.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all over here just like chatting it up, trying to be like inconspicuous. Meanwhile, our friend is like getting in with the club owner, and then they just teleport away. And I'm just like, where are they going? What's going on? They went to Lakeland, which is an area in Shadowbringers. Really pretty area as well. So it was like, oh, are they gonna go do some like freaky stuff? But then he goes offline. Turns out, Cox, the internet service provider, is a piece of shit.
Oh.
And he disconnected.
Oh no!
And he couldn't reconnect.
No!
All that talk, and now the club owner probably thinks he's a huge coward, and we got really sad for him.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sad.
I know,
He
it's
was
so
gonna
upsetting.
Get some,
He was
and
so close.
oh, no!
So close. We were so invested, and in the worst possible way. But here's the thing: we have the address of the club now. We have the address, and he's got the game. We're gonna go again. We're gonna go again. And she's gonna be like, "Well, where were you?" And then it's gonna be a whole thing. This saga will continue.
Oh
I'm
my
sure.
god, this is so good. I'm
sure
so
this saga is
invested
gonna continue.
in this.
There's also moments where another friend of ours, who was also in our group, was getting hit on by. It was getting unwanted advances from.
This is
like,
what I saw.
from other players, and
Yeah.
I noticed because she was at the bar alone, and then there was a like guy that just sat next to her, and then they both go over to a booth, and I'm just like, what the hell? Where is she going? What's going on there? And I was like, okay, guys, let's like sit in the booth over. Let's like sit in the next booth over.
Let's listen.
And just like listen. And so like we just sit there, and we're like, I'm like role playing as like the inconspicuous friend who's not being very inconspicuous. So I'm just sitting there, and we're all sitting on like one side of the booth because there's like a booth right here, and like two of them are like facing each other. You can see it on the stream right there in the back, the white chairs.
Yeah.
The one on the far left, like they were sitting there, like across from each other, and then immediately behind that, in the next booth, we were all sitting in the same side. So it was like it was really obvious what we were doing. Yeah. And I'm just like saying stupid shit in the say chat, like, so do you guys like jazz? You know, and a bunch of stuff. And then I start playing the role of like the out of control, fiery, drunk friend.
Where you're literally dancing on the table.
I was like literally dancing on the table, and I was like, "Do you think this table can handle my heat?" And I start dancing, and then it draws the attention of people on the dance floor.
Oh
So
my
then
god.
we're drawn to the front of the dance floor, and then we just start partying the hell out of this club. It was great.
How late did you stay up doing this?
I think I was probably up until like 3 a.m. Eastern.
Damn.
And we started the night clubbing at like midnight, I want to say.
See, this is the amazing thing.
Yeah.
It's just
Also,
like this game
so
has everything.
you see that horned aura right there?
Yeah.
That was her.
Oh.
In the back, dancing. In the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah, because like I don't know, I came in the stream when you guys were going over to the booth to listen in and everything, which was something.
I'm trying to see if I can find it.
I was just like, I'd spent the day, you know, like.
Oh, here it is. So you can see them going over there.
Yeah.
They went over. They went over, and they're just sitting there. They're just sitting there.
I know. Tara's just watching them.
And then watch my character, and then like and then we just like.
You guys all just go
Tara's
sit
like
over
being
there.
suspicious, and then I'm just like, "Hey guys, let's go over to the next booth and like just be like those awkward snooping friends, you know?"
Yeah. Like I came into the chat and I saw you guys doing this, and I was like, I'm so confused. I just spent the day doing like dailies and like roughing it out in the beast tribes and everything, and you guys are here like clubbing and dancing, and it's like I didn't even know this was a thing.
This is what happens when you don't have things to do in the game. When you've gotten all your classes up to level 80, when you've done all the high-end raids and stuff, you do this, you go party. Yeah. You go party. And this was actually not even that that full of a club at the moment, because I don't know, but like these clubs can get even bigger and badder. Like there are all sorts of things. There's like character auctions where people will auction themselves off for like ERP, for raid clearing, for all sorts of things. It's like, and this is all like community driven content. This is not like, you know, there's no like specific like clubbing thing for in officially in the game or anything. This is just like, you know, player made housing. And right there, I just said in chat, "Wait, Terror Gang, let's take the table behind them and eavesdrop." So now here we go. We're making moves now.
You're just going in.
All on the same side. Look at this.
It just like it's perfect. It's like, again, this just reminds me of like my high school dance like that we had, and it was just like we would see like one of our friends dancing with the guy we knew she liked, and it's like, oh my god, we need to go over and like totally peep and just like listen and see if they're doing anything, you know, like it's freaking. And then we would go off to the bathroom to go giggle and laugh, and
it is
like
wonderful.
Gossip. It's just like this was the same energy, and it's just like it.
in a world where we can't
actually
go out in real life currently, in current year 2021, this is pretty good.
I can see my first message there. It's just like, what are you guys doing?
It is great, and people get like employed, quote unquote, at these clubs.
Oh my god.
So it's like club owners are obviously like, you know, the person who owns the house. They make it into a club, nightclub. Then, you know, they'll pay stipends to people to like run the bar and stuff. And when you go up to a bar in one of these clubs, you sit down. The person who's the bartender either in say chat or in like whispers you and says like, "Hey, here's our menu," and they'll like they'll send you a link to like a menu, and so it's like you order, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I'd like a whiskey on the rocks, please." It'd be like 8,000 gil. So
that's
they're like,
awesome.
Yeah, and then what will happen is the bartender will be like, "Okay," they'll do /nod, they'll nod. And then they'll turn around, and then they'll do a bunch of like poses and shit, making your making
Make
your
your
drink,
drink.
freaking like blowing stuff up and casting fire spells.
Yeah.
Um, and then finally they do like a Eureka emote, turn around, trade you. You give them the money, they give you the drink, and then it's done.
Oh my god, like, this game is just it's amazing, and the
Yeah.
community is amazing.
It's like that's like the craziest thing. It's all community driven, and
I know!
it's like honestly, this was like right after we did some hardcore raiding.
And
That's the
so
thing.
to kinda segue, though,
Yeah.
so Final Fantasy,
Mhm.
along with, Monster Hunter Rise,
Uh huh.
and obviously a few other games, they have all been nominated with the Golden Joystick Award for best, communities out there.
Oh my God! Well, Final Fantasy 14 is about to blow that out of the water. I don't know
Yeah,
how
I know.
Monster Hunter is gonna stand a chance.
I know. I voted yesterday on their site, and I saw that Final Fantasy 14 was a part of it. I was like, well, I thought that Rise was gonna do fine, because the
No!
community
Oh
is
my
great, but
God!
never mind.
Final
Never
Fantasy
mind.
14 is gonna blow Monster Hunter Rise out of the
It's
water.
literally
Like,
just gonna be gone.
as someone who considers themselves a Monster Hunter player before an FF14 player, I would vote for FF14.
I voted for Rise still, not to you know, say all my answers and everything, but I did vote for Rise because, I want that small trinkle of hope. Maybe the Rise community will band together and remember that we have true joy. It's no
No,
use.
can you go clubbing
It's
in that
no
Monster
use.
Hunter? No,
No.
unfortunately. Could you imagine if and this is like why it's kind of like bums me out when I go into Iceborne and I see like the customization in your room is like it's a lot of
Oh,
customization,
yeah.
But like imagine if you could do this level of like, oh man, maybe
Well,
that's
just
like the next step of Monster Hunter.
the room makeover.
Yeah.
It'll go Animal Crossing with its new Paradise Home DLC coming out, but it's Monster Hunter.
Oh my God, yeah. Like this is like the way you build houses and furniture in this game is like it's like on like the level of like The Sims or like
True, yeah.
kind of Animal Crossing. Although I always thought Animal Crossing was like kind of jank.
It's a little
Um,
bit more stuck to a grid
yeah,
type system where it's you do have to obey more laws, I guess, in game, more of its code, I guess, in a way, while The Sims and Final Fantasy 14 is more
freeform.
I don't know, yeah, customize however and everything.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, but it was oh
um,
my God, we it's definitely going to be doing more of that. I'll probably stream some of that as well. It is just so much
hell
damn
yeah.
fun. And I want you to join us with Skoy at some point because like our friend that was getting hit on throughout the night, like her boyfriend wasn't there. So she was like, "Oh my God,
Oh.
help me." I was like, "Oh my God, summon him."
Yeah, I saw you say that in chat, "I want my boyfriend, summon him."
Summon him.
Well, because I was talking to Scully as well. It's yeah, we should definitely hurry up and get to Stormblood and everything because I do want to do these things. It looks like a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
It's like I mean it
So,
was only because the residential district was in Stormblood, but we were going over to like the Lavender Beds and the Goblet as well.
oh,
A bunch of different
gotcha.
yeah. Um like the housing districts there's 4 currently and with Endwalker there's going to be one in Ishgard as well, which is like
Mm-hmm.
people are going crazy about that.
Yeah.
And what's really cool about that is they kind of worked it into the lore because you know about the Ishgard restoration thing, which is like what people use to level up their crafting.
Yes.
So basically, throughout that entire process, throughout all the patches that people were doing Ishgard restoration, it was working towards like building the residential district, like rebuilding the residential district.
Oh,
So it's like
that's
now
awesome.
everyone's work is
Has
quote
paid
unquote
off.
paying off for Endwalker when like
Yeah,
now everyone can like, hey, you can live in Ishgard now,
that's
you know?
awesome. I love it when games do that.
Yeah,
Dang.
I'm probably gonna stick with my house in the mist, but there's gonna be a lot of
Yeah,
people who are moving. So if you're looking for a house, you would
I am
Skoy.
looking for a house.
Yeah, I mean it's like you can either look in Ishgard and try to beat that rush, or find a vacant house that someone abandoned in one of the
Chances
other houses.
are, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look for a vacant house in one of the older districts, which I'm perfectly fine with. I finally like unlocked all the areas and like I was looking through for empty places. Out of all of the current districts that I can access, which is the 3 like first
Starter towns,
ones,
yeah.
there was only one house,
Mm-hmm.
which I think it was like 3 mil or something, or sorry, the plot. I think it was
Right.
only 3 mil, which isn't bad, but it's like I think with us combined, we only have 3 mil
Okay.
currently. So
Well, if you guys have a free company, you can get like a free company house.
that's true, which I wouldn't mind doing, but I don't know. I think we discussed and we said that we want to get a house first and then we'll do a free company.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, totally fuck those. No.
I'll pay for your
um
house if you want. I'm like
no, it's fine.
thrifting deal.
No, it's fine.
I
Yeah, I'll
bought a
take a
lot of
loan from you.
I bought a lot of drinks that night in game,
How
and
many did you buy?
I was also drinking in real life as well.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was sipping on some. I wish I had some
Oh,
like
nice.
edibles or something. But I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that'd be a fun stream. Although I probably couldn't be on camera for that one. You gotta
No,
get
yeah,
fully in
like
character, you know.
well, even like I don't know. I was doing a game night the other night with a few friends and I've always had the thought that like I do want to do a drunk stream at one point because I think like the most drunk I've ever gone on stream was like Christmas last year, but even then I was just like sipping.
Mm-hmm.
But I got like very I went a little bit beyond of what I expected and I was thinking about it's like I shouldn't do a drunk stream.
Right.
Well, it's just like I get so giggly and I just turn into like just a giggly stupid mess and it's just like it wouldn't be funny. I'd just be laughing at nothing.
Or you just
Just
start
randomly.
dancing on the table.
Oh yeah, you're dancing on the table.
Yeah.
Um,
I eventually got on top of the barrier and started dancing there too.
damn. Please.
It's funny because in real
Have
life,
some
I'm actually
decency.
kind of a lightweight in real life when it comes to drinking.
Yeah.
So I do get drunk faster than like my peers a lot of the time. So I won't drink until like really late into the night.
Do you dance on tables?
If I don't get kicked out for it, yeah, sure.
It's dang.
Not early in the night, but late in the night because like I want to like stay consistent with like the rest of my groups. Like I don't want to be the first one drunk because that's just gonna
That's
look
fair.
bad for me, you know. So it's
That's
like, you know,
fair.
just wait until everyone else gets drunk and then just like take a sip and I'm like, oh yeah, time to
Oh
time to
dang.
fuck, you know.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's
Um.
go.
So yeah, that was like that was been my week pretty much. It's just
Yeah.
taking
Final
photographs of
Fantasy.
my virtual doll and going to clubs with said
Nice.
doll. You know, it feels weird. It's made me realize like because there was also guys flirting with me in game, and I was like, oh man, I feel bad because I'm like it's like I'm catfishing them, you know. So it's like
Yeah.
maybe I should make an alternate character that's like more representative of me.
It's a
So I
dude.
think once Endwalker comes out, I'll make a on another world, within Primal, but on another world, I'll probably make like a bunny boy.
Come to Excalibur.
Should that be where my alt is? I mean, it's
Yes.
literally that character is literally just going to be for RP. So I'm probably just gonna buy a boost for them and then just like deck them out in a
That's
bunch of
fair.
like fashion and then like literally just RP.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I really want to make a bunny boy as well.
They're gonna be,
Just for the meme.
there's gonna be bunny boys everywhere.
There really
It's
is.
like it's kind of funny because they're bunnies and like rabbits are like known for like, oh yeah, there's me hopping on the barrier and like fucking going.
Oh, yep.
But
Yep.
um
Jesus Christ.
I mean it's kind of funny that like, you know, rabbits because they breed so much, they have so much
Mhm.
offspring. It's like, oh yeah, it's kind of funny that all these bunny boys are just popping up all over the place, you know,
Yeah.
like
Too
whack-a-mole.
accurate.
Yeah.
Too real.
But yeah, that's been me. Um
Nice.
But you already mentioned this, since we're gonna get into news now. Well, hey, Karana, what were you up to? All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks.
No, but you mentioned the Golden Joysticks Awards again, and then what was Monster Hunter on for again? Like
It was best community and I think let me open up their Twitter
uh,
post because
uh
yeah, they were nominated for 2 things.
Nintendo Game of the Year and Best Game
Yeah.
Community. I'm gonna tell you right now, Rise isn't winning any of that. I'm
Well,
just Nintendo Game of the Year is going to be Metroid Dread.
That's fair.
It's going to be Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
That game's amazing, and I would vote for Metroid Dread over Rise. Personally, I would. Personally.
Dang.
But like that might be because there hasn't been a new 2D Metroid game in 15 years. So, it's like a lot of people were like really thirsting for a new Samus adventure. So it makes sense. But best game community, like I don't see Monster Hunter having any shot at winning that if FF14 is in the running as well.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I started voting yesterday, and right at the top of the list was Final Fantasy 14. I was like, well, that's game over.
They put it at the top of the list? That's like favoritism right there.
Exactly. It was like, well, all right. I thought that Rise might actually stand a chance, like they've got a strong community. Like we're a part of it, we know how amazing the community can be. And then they put fucking Final Fantasy on there, and it's like, bro, okay.
They're not even like similar games,
No, they're not.
Like, I feel like Final Fantasy should be with other MMOs in that category.
Yeah, well, it's like on top of that, like when you talk to a Monster Hunter, like someone that's in the community, if you ask them, like, have you played Final Fantasy? Chances are they're going to either like 14. They're either going to say yes, or they said like not yet, or
right.
Probably not. But if you ask
a
a Final Fantasy 14 member or whatever, if they've played Monster Hunter Rise, chances are they're probably not going to say yes.
What's funny is that Teru, the streamer that we were just watching, that was partying with me. She used to be a main Monster Hunter streamer, and now she streams Final Fantasy 14 main.
Yep.
Yeah.
When was the last time she streamed Monster Hunter, to be honest? It's been months.
Technically, a few weeks ago when her boyfriend took over the stream.
Oh.
So it wasn't her streaming.
Well.
when the last time she personally streamed Monster Hunter, I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. It's like, again, a lot of the Monster Hunter community, at least from my perspective, has kind of moved to Final Fantasy as well. So I think it's going to be it's going to be a tough choice for Monster Hunter players, I think, to choose between Final Fantasy and Rise. At least for me, it was. But
I think if Monster Hunter ever went the MMO route again, I want them to do something different than what Online and what Frontier did.
Yeah.
And just like looking at Final Fantasy 14, like obviously Monster Hunter's overall gameplay structure is radically different than any MMO. It's totally action focused. No focus on like upgrading your character other than their armor, but like your character themselves doesn't get upgraded. It's more of the armor and the weapons and stuff. I think there's something that could be done there, but I think most of it would probably be in the community aspects of the game. So things like housing and opportunities to roleplay, things like that. Because like there could be so much opportunity with a Monster Hunter MMO for people to just roleplay as hunters in a village. Choose your starting village, like make a house for yourself in a starting village. Visit other players, and then you can all go out on hunts and shit. It's like, I think there's a lot of opportunities for like role playing, and I think there's a lot of Monster Hunter players out there who are eager to role play as their hunter.
Oh yeah,
and get fully immersed in this world of Monster Hunter.
And then finally, those arguments and like people trying to compare Final Fantasy and Monster Hunter can finally happen, because I see those posts of people being like, "This is such a cheap like MMO style game, like it doesn't follow anything." It's like, well, it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to compare these two?
I feel like Monster Hunter has never really clicked in terms of like slotting itself in with a genre. Like I remember at the Game Awards, Monster Hunter World was nominated for Best RPG, and I'm like, wait, what? Huh? RPG? Are you kidding me?
RPG? Bruh.
Like, I mean, like, technically
What is this?
speaking, role-playing game, you are playing the role of a character, but that's like,
I mean,
that's like
yeah, but
really trivializing the name of RPG. RPGs, like,
yeah.
are for, things that involve stat progression and character growth, things of that nature, playing with a party of characters, make decision making, things like that. All things that
Exactly.
Monster Hunter has light elements of, but first and foremost, I would say Monster Hunter is an action game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, again, like, especially as the games have progressed, there is story,
hmm
but you're locked into that story harder than anything.
Yeah, there's no
Your
decision
hunter,
making at all.
no, there
You know,
isn't. Like, your
it's
hunter is doing this.
like save the handler or feed her to Velkhana. I don't get to choose.
Well, no. You know what I would choose, but I can't.
yeah.
So,
feed Naviru and handler. Oh no, feed Naviru to the handler and then feed the handler to Volcana.
oh my god.
Now Monster Hunter
But
Stories, that would be a RPG. That's an RPG.
that's getting closer.
Yeah.
Again, you're not really choosing like what you're doing in the story, but that's not like essential.
No, but it's like it's like much more
You're
like
still,
party based
yeah, turn
management,
based.
and the combat
Yeah,
is indicative of that. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah. No, I don't know. It's like Monster Hunter has done a good job at keeping itself unique
hmm
to other franchises and everything. So
Well, it's
yeah,
done
I don't
such a
know.
good job that Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter World Iceborne have shipped over 20 million combined units worldwide,
Woo!
according to a latest report. And I have a Euro Gamer article up right here. The figure includes shipments of Monster Hunter World Iceborne Master Edition, Capcom said.
Nice.
Which that's the combined version of it, right? The
Yes.
combined Monster Hunter World and Iceborne like dual pack, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but here, Monster Hunter World became Capcom's best-selling game of all time within a month of its release, and like we've talked about this before, how like yeah, Monster Hunter World absolutely blew away Capcom's expectations.
Mhm.
It surpassed Street Fighter 2 in terms of like Capcom's best-selling game, which for a while Street Fighter 2 was at the top because they re-released Street Fighter 2 like a million times on every platform, including your home toaster. Um, so it's like, well, what the fuck? How are you supposed to out? Oh, well, Monster Hunter, I guess.
Yeah.
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 And for comparison's sake, Nintendo Switch exclusive Monster Hunter Rise has sold 7.5 million units as of the 24th of September. The game heads to PC via Steam on 13th of January 2022. Blah blah blah. Wait, 13th? That's wrong.
Dang.
It's supposed to be the 12th. Eurogamer,
Okay.
I'm calling. Well, actually, no, it's Eurogamer. So yeah, maybe in Europe it's on the 13th. I don't know. But anyway,
Who knows?
Monster Hunter World breaking records for Capcom. It broke the record that it set for itself.
yeah.
I think at this point, it's kind of safe to say that Monster Hunter is far and wide Capcom's most
Alive and well.
lucrative intellectual property.
Yep.
Which is saying a lot because Capcom is just like a home for so many iconic franchises like Resident
Mhm.
Evil, Street Fighter, Mega Man, Devil May Cry, all kinds of things. And for a while, I would say like for the first like 12 or so years of Monster Hunter's existence, it's always been kind of like a B tier Capcom franchise in the grand scope, in the worldwide grand scope of things, right? In Japan,
Well, yeah.
obviously Monster Hunter was crazy, but like
Mhm.
worldwide, it didn't get the worldwide recognition, right?
No, but Capcom didn't really give it the chance to be a worldwide recognition for a while.
Yeah, that's very true. Like Monster Hunter Portable Third and a lot of Monster Hunter games never got localized. Like Monster Hunter
Yeah.
4 was never localized,
Yeah.
even though it's like a main numbered one. We didn't. It wasn't until Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate,
Exactly.
where the West got that one. Um, and like we weren't even confident that we were getting cross or double cross here in the
Mhm.
West. Like people looked at it and was like, oh well, guess that's it's gonna be a portable third situation. where we'll just have to find
Well, I guess
we'll
we'll
just
just
have
have to
to
play the
yeah, we'll just have to like get a Japanese 3DS and play it with
not know what's going on in the story.
yeah. What's funny is that like a lot of Monster Hunter players got so used to playing Monster Hunter in Japanese that like they kind of just know what the kanji for potion is now.
Oh
So they're like,
god.
oh yeah, there's a potion, and then the icons help too, right? But
Well,
like,
of course, but you also kind of read it here and there.
yeah, yeah, it's like,
Um
oh yeah, that's a great sword, you know. But I mean, fuck. Now we live in a timeline where Monster Hunter is like this global thing for
Well,
Capcom.
it's such a wild thing as well because Monster Hunter is actually bleeding into like my IRL like friends as well. One of my older friends just got it the other day, and
Hmm.
so I'm gonna be playing it with her.
World
Um,
or
yeah, World.
okay.
And it's just kind of like I get to talk to people about, Monster Hunter now, and it's wild, and it's just
Hmm.
kind of like, huh, this has never happened before.
Yeah, and what's funny is that Rise released exclusively for the Switch, right? But
Mhm.
I think just like investors just looking at those world numbers and they're like, "What are you crazy? Release this on PC as well."
Yeah,
Like,
you might as well.
yeah, and Capcom. I've said this before, but the chief executive officer has gone out and said in interviews, "Yeah, we're gonna focus on multi-platform releases going forward now."
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying Monster Hunter 6 is poised to maybe be like not necessarily the best Monster Hunter ever, but like the most successful.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I think they realize at this point now as well with Sunbreak and the hype for it, like they gotta go big with everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with, you know, the numbers and the feedback that they've gotten, obviously from World. Like
Yeah.
it's not suddenly a small community anymore. It's suddenly like, whoa, you tweet something, it's gonna get like thousands to hundreds of thousands of likes. And it's just, I don't know. It's
I'm
it's weird to
sure.
think about, but
I'm sure there's some goblins out in the back who are like, "Oh, gee, you should be the best selling. Ah, world
uh,
sucks. World's
li-
casual." It's like, well, guess
li-
what? Guess what? Accessibility above all.
yeah, people, I still see people saying that like Rise and World are too easy, and it's like, bring back the difficult
Oh my
challenges.
god.
I remember when this game used to be super hard and I would get super sweaty over it, and it's like,
I'm
guys,
like
come on.
I'm like shamelessly 100% in the camp of I want a lot of people to get to experience Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is not a franchise to me where it's just like I have my toy, go play with your own.
Yeah, it's like, don't gatekeep a game.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
come on. Let it be accessible and fun to everybody. It's like I don't understand why people have the need to brag and be like, I remember when this game used to be controlled on, like when you had to swing around with your joystick and stuff like
Oh
that.
my
Like those were
god.
the good old days and stuff. And
I
it's like,
wonder if there's
it's
still some
what?
like some Monster Hunter dinosaurs around who are still just like I want right analog attacks back. Here.
I'm sure there is. Because it's just kind of like I don't want to give shade to people, but it's just kind of like we're come on,
Dude,
like
I will
let it
100%. I will 100% call gatekeeping elitist assholes out
I
because
know you
they
will.
have like such a lack of like self-awareness to realize like if you're just like I mean like if you want to like keep your toys then go ahead, but like don't try to enforce that mindset onto other people, especially since it's being successful
Yeah,
because of it, you
exactly.
know? It's like all those people who disliked World because they thought it was like too easy as Babby's first Monster Hunter game, which by the way, yeah, it was good as a Babby's first Monster Hunter game, but it was also pretty difficult in other respects as well.
I still can't solo Fatalis.
Yeah, like Monster Hunter World still has the base essence of Monster Hunter.
Yep.
It's like it's still a full-on Monster Hunter through and through, you know, regardless of mantles or clutch claw or revised armor skill systems, it's still Monster Hunter at its core. You still got a greatsword, you can still charge the greatsword. You got dual blades that you can go crazy with. You got an insect glaive with a kinsect that doesn't do jack shit. It's all Monster Hunter,
A chat member also said that people also don't realize that they can be getting better at the games generally. Like as you're growing up, like yeah, I started on 3U. I was shit at the game. It
I
like
can agree to that to a degree. I can agree, to a degree, yeah. Although going back and playing Freedom Unite though, that game still kicked my ass.
yeah, like I don't know. It's just like when you continue to play games over time and you grow up with a series, like yeah, change is, not always something you want, but like at the same time, it's like change is also pretty good.
Yeah, it's
And
more
it's
indicative
just
of people's like base like mindsets for like their
it's
perspective on like a lot of real world things and all. And like I don't want to get too like armchair psychologist about this, but like
nah, Tam, tell me about my future and my past and like
yeah.
why am I
Tell me
depressed?
why don't my parents love me?
Yeah.
It's because you don't like Monster Hunter World. That's why. Go home,
Well,
little Timmy.
it's just like on top of that, it's like I can understand people wanting, especially for Monster Hunter, it's like, oh, I want these same controls, but I want new monsters, I want new areas, I want stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like at the same time, like just appreciate what you have on that game.
And the
Play it
thing
again
is,
if you need to,
yeah.
and then play the next one. It's fine.
And the thing is, like, Monster Hunter is just becoming like this big global sensation now.
Yeah.
So there's only gonna be more and more new players, and we all started as newbies in Monster Hunter at some point. Whether you started on the PlayStation 2, PSP, Wii, whatever, wherever you started Monster Hunter, we all like sucked ass at first, and
Yeah.
because of the way the community was, it was like a kind of a fairly small community, but also fairly friendly as well. Like I haven't noticed this much toxicity in the Monster Hunter community since World came out. Like it was when World came out, and a lot of people would be saying like throwing around terms like world babies or worldies and stuff like that, and I'm just like, are you
People still try to do that.
what the hell is why like this? Why are you treating this like it's a fucking schoolyard? It's fucking.
I don't know.
It's
It's just like
it's
it's
fascinating to me. It's confusing to me.
well, because people want to feel like they're better than others. So it's like, oh, I started on this game while you guys started on the simplified version or the version that like is meant for like new players, while I started on the game that like had no walkthroughs and it was like I don't know. People take it too seriously and I just again, people want to feel like they have a one up.
Right. Yeah.
And that's like as far as I'm gonna analyze it.
Yeah. I mean, like the numbers speak for themselves. 22 million
Yeah.
units shipped
I
worldwide. Regardless of how you feel about World, you better get used to seeing it because, boy, oh
yeah,
boy, that's
I
the
mean,
model they're going to be following for the years to come.
yeah. Well, even when it comes to World, it's like I can account for 2 of those copies sold. Like I own the game twice. I own it on PC and PS4. I've dumped hours into both. It's
Yeah.
a fun game.
The only thing I don't want Capcom to do is staggered releases on console and PC. Just release it all at the same time. Even though, would I double dip? Yes. But even though you would be losing money because I would only buy the PC version, probably. Just that it's so much friendlier for the customer, for the consumer.
It really is.
Like to not have to double dip like I'm doing with Rise.
Yeah.
And like I did with World and Iceborne.
Yeah, same.
I also double dipped on 3U.
Oh, did you?
I bought it on 3DS at first, finished all of the village on 3DS. The only way I could play online was with my cousin who had a Wii U. And I had 3DS, so we could play local. But then it got to a point where it's like, I'm just gonna buy an entire Wii U just for 3U.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I did the same though.
Yeah, I don't have my Wii U anymore though because I sold it.
Dang.
Actually,
Cam,
I traded
we
that.
could have played.
I traded that Wii U in for a PS4.
We could have played 3U together though. Bruh.
If I can find a Wii U for a reasonable price on eBay,
Do
then
it.
maybe I would consider it,
Well, I'm planning on picking up 3U again soon. I'm actually so like as a content creator, I've been feeling really burnt out on JU recently.
Mm-hmm.
Um so like that's kind of why I've been streaming Luigi's Mansion, but I am planning on streaming some Worlds soon.
Oh, there you go.
So,
I need to do
although I'm
some.
having I don't know if other people actually experience this bug, but I might have to figure out how to play on keyboard and mouse
What happened?
because every single time I either minimize the game or
Mm-hmm.
I click somewhere else, well, not every single time, but this happens more often than not, my controller will begin to spaz out. Like if I ever open a menu, it's almost like as if I'm holding the stick right and it just keeps going like
That sounds like a
over and
controller
over.
issue and not a PC issue.
But that's the thing. I tried both my Switch controller and my PS4 controller. They both do it.
Hmm.
And I've searched it up like, yeah, no, like this is actually a controller issue.
Weird.
So
Weird.
I don't know. It's just like it's whenever you minimize the game. So I might just have to suck it up and swap to keyboard and mouse, even though I'm gonna groan and complain the entire time.
The keyboard and mouse controls in World and by extension Rise can be a little jank. Like it definitely gives the impression of like, oh yeah, no, this game was made
Design.
controller first and then keyboard and mouse second,
Yeah, kind of
But
like an
it's still
afterthought.
like, yeah, it's still serviceable enough though, and I've seen a lot of people do successfully on keyboard and mouse with even like the
Yeah.
melee weapons, with ranged weapons. Even I play ranged weapons on keyboard and mouse just because like
Mhm.
dealing with like the jank keybinds, like I'm willing to put up with that just so that I have the ability to 360 no scope a Nergigante in the face, like so easy. It's
Yeah.
so easy to just like move your mouse and aim as opposed to just like doing all sorts of other shenanigans with setting up my controller, my sensitivity, and like moving my reticule slowly over to like shoot the monster that has jumped over me. It's so good on mouse and keyboard.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'm good. No, it's just I can see in the out of the corner of my eye, there's like a windstorm right now, and I can see that I left like some stuff outside that's
Oh,
like
do
being blown
you want to
around.
take a
But
you want to take a quick break and take care of that?
yeah, maybe
All right,
I
okay,
don't
okay,
want it
yeah.
to go flying off my balcony.
We're gonna get 5 minutes for Forrest till I go address this windstorm issue. We'll be right back, folks.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Are everything safe and sound?
Yep, I just like again out of the corner of my eye, I saw like I don't have a lot on my balcony, but I have like a few stools. I have like my chair, my table, and I saw like the cushions like fly off the chair and like the stool. I could hear it like scraping across the ground.
Right.
So yeah, no, I forgot that they sent out a warning today for a windstorm because like I think it was supposed to start up last night, but it
Hmm.
never did, and it was like supposed to be like 100 kilometers per hour or something. So
Those damn
I was like,
Kushalas just
I know,
just
freaking
flying outside.
Kushala.
God damn.
Jeez.
Speaking of
So
speaking of storms though. Well, actually no. Is there anything else you wanted to say in regards to the windstorm?
no, it's good.
Okay. Well, speaking of storms though,
Uh-huh.
the new event quest this week in Rise was Narwa. So
Yes.
last week was Ibushi. This week was Narwa.
Yep.
So it stands to reason that the following week, are we gonna get Ibushi and Narwa, or is it gonna be like a beefed up All Mother?
I would love both.
Oh,
I
all
was gonna
three.
say All Mother. Well, I mean, I was gonna say All Mother, but like, I don't know. I would love like to see both Ibushi and Narwa in the like upper arena together,
Yeah.
and then a separate quest of just like you spawn in like the below area with All Mother.
Mm-hmm. I
I
think
think
that'd
that
be
would,
yeah.
yeah,
Because
that'd
like
be a lot of
everyone
fun.
got super excited when like you see Narwa and Ibushi both at the bottom area, but then Narwa just ends up eating Ibushi. So you're just like,
Yeah.
ah, well.
Oh
That
well,
Ibushi
okay, there
Narwa
he
quest
goes.
that we wanted. Maybe, but like maybe next week. But this one is it's a beefed up Narwa. I think it probably has like 50% more health. It definitely hits harder.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, they've kind of been killing it with the event quests recently by
Yeah.
introducing quest types that we haven't had in the game yet.
No,
Well,
yeah,
like not
like,
quest types, but like, monster
well,
arrangements.
spicing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen people doing it, and yeah, it seems like it hits pretty hard. I really want to return to Rise right now, but I'm trying not to. I
What? Are you trying
I
to
just
save it for like PC version?
yeah, because like I have like the PC version lined up and ready to go, and I don't want to I don't I just want my hype to stay
Right.
at max for Rise because I plan to dump a lot of hours into that when
Right,
it
right, right.
releases.
Yeah.
Because I want to catch my PC character up to my Switch version, which is like at HR 300 or something.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I
And
just
then
yeah,
summer's gonna roll around. Then sunbreak time.
yep. And
Bye
summer's
bye
gonna come quick.
Switch cartridge.
It's just off the
Oh,
balcony.
that's gonna be me. Even though I have a digital version of the game,
Oh, do you?
just throw my Switch out. Just like cut out the piece of the hard drive that has it in there, and then just like out of
See
here.
ya.
Yeah.
You can give it to
Um.
Karada to eat it.
Oh my god. He kept that thing in his mouth for an impressive amount of time.
Didn't he keep it in for like an entire Thunderlord hunt or something?
Oh my god.
So that's at least like 10 minutes.
That's at least wow, Colin. That's at least like 30 minutes right there. That's at least like 45 minutes right there.
That's He's gonna watch this later and be mad at me. I'm already calling it. He's gonna
Why would he get
freaking
mad at you? You said at least 10 minutes. That's like respectable.
nah, because he's gonna find something to complain about. All right, he always does.
Okay. I see. I see.
Yeah, I'm throwing shade at Karada. What
Um
about it?
so we wanted Karaka brought up a topic that I wanted to talk about today, but I feel bad about not talking about it or talking about it with Karada and I here. It was about the monster names between the Japanese and the localization English versions of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like we should probably save that for next week once
Yeah, I
Karada's
feel like
back.
we should definitely save it considering I also don't know any of the Japanese names.
Well, I mean, I think
And I
it's
need to
good.
do some homework.
I think that's good because I'm gonna be pulling out a lot of the obscure monster names.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna be like fucking just the Jinoga
Ooh.
Zenoga hour, it's
No,
gonna be a lot of weird shit.
what we should do is like you should give us a name and then we'll have to guess what it is.
Oh yeah, like easy mode is
So
like Ryzex and Dino Valdo, you know, which are
uh,
which is saying
uh,
Ryzex is like, you know why that they didn't use Ryzex as Astalos's actual name?
that's Aslos?
Yes.
I thought
Ryzex is. I thought you knew that.
no.
That's like a
I don't
well-known
know.
thing. Ryzex is Astalos' Japanese name.
When
But
I
I can
say
tell
that
you
I
right
don't
now.
know any of the names, I'm not kidding. I don't know any of the names.
That's good. It'll be a surprise for you then. But with Ryzex, I think, because it sounds close to sex, probably didn't want that to be in the English version.
No,
The
that's
localized version.
fair.
Ryzex.
Ryzex.
Zenogers, I don't really understand why they added a Z instead of the J. Like Jinoga is the Japanese name for Zenoger.
Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah, Jinouga, I think.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah, and so for a while people were calling it Jinoga, and then it got localized as Zenoger, and people were just like, well, there's not much of a difference there. It's a Z now.
Didn't Kezu have a interesting one as well?
I think it was like Fudu or something.
Yeah, it was something funny. It made me laugh.
It's like kind of an onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
In Japanese, that means something like I don't know, some weird like slithering sound, something like that. I don't know. They like the way they name some of the monsters in certain languages is like way different than how they name them in English. So that'll be
yeah.
interesting to see. I might even pull up like not just the Japanese name, but like the other names as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because there are different names like German and Italian and Spanish for the
Ooh,
monsters. Yeah, I'll try to look for the good ones. Um,
yeah. So
but
that'll be for next week.
that'll be for next week. But for this
But we
week, is
can
was there any other news?
we can talk about the new Fatalis event that's in
Oh
Story
yeah,
2.
you can talk more about that because I know dick about Stories 2's Endgame. But I think this is probably also in reference to some things that Gaijin Hunter, the Monster Hunter content creator, he had some things to say about that event too as well, right?
Yeah.
So first,
I
what were your impressions of the event if you did it?
I did not do it, but I
Okay,
saw a few people try it out. Holy crap. It's really geared against you. It's just kind of like, yeah, we're sick of people saying that this game is too easy. So suck
it's
it.
oh, so it's literally just fuck you difficulty.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
man,
because it's like you're already fighting Fatalis, who's kind of beefed up.
uh-huh.
But on top of that, you have a number of turns you can fight it.
Oh, that's
So
diabolical.
so it's just kind of like, heh, you thought that you could outlast this? Ha, no.
How are you supposed to win that without cheesing it then, right?
No clue.
Like, can you like? I mean, can you do the Aptonoth strat against it?
I could not tell you.
Mm.
Again, I didn't watch a full fight of it. I just saw very briefly. I can't even remember how many turns you have.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, I just remember seeing Twitter posts about it and like people just being like, this is disgusting.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's like I never even got to like the second Fatalis fight where you have to fight it the second time in the special Elder's Lair, but I know from what people have been saying that you have to be above level 80 at least, preferably level 90. Um and just yeah, it's like I don't think people realize how hard it is to get to level 80. I think when I left off I was about at level 70.
What's the level cap in Stories 2?
I think level 99, I want to
Okay.
say.
Okay.
So you basically want to max out as much as you can. Get all your deviants and everything. Yeah, level 99.
It's just a
So
full six party of deviants, huh?
that's pretty much the end game.
And one Palamute, maybe.
Potentially.
Yeah. Maybe an Aptonoth too.
um, maybe if you're feeling kind of spicy.
Yeah. I don't know much about
So
the end game, so like I'm just guessing.
the end game is yeah, pretty much just deviants. Like when you fight your first deviant and you get it, it's just kind of like, oh, this is better than everything that I have that I've been
Mm.
gearing for the
Mm-hmm.
entire game. So it's just kind of like when I got my silver one Nargacuga for the first time and I still had my green in my party, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, pff, yeah, that's being replaced.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
I felt
Fucking
bad, but it's like
drop the green
freaking
Nargacuga on the ground.
yeah. I'm
Shatters to
sorry.
pieces.
I'm sorry.
Mom, how could you? I
No.
thought you loved me.
No. So, yeah, I don't know. It was just like uh it deviants are just overpowered.
Mm.
Like even when it comes to having elders and stuff, like you can.
And it's
They're insanely
not
powerful, but
and it's not enough to squeeze through Fatalis. You have to
nope.
really play. Is it like one of those boss fights where you have to play in a very hyper specific way, or is it
Yeah.
is it actually just like a brutally like big like battle
You
of
just
attrition, race against
really
the clock?
well, it's just I think it's a bit of both because Fatalis does some really insane moves that just like hit the entire party or you just really got to micromanage your health.
Mm.
That's the biggest thing because he'll set you on fire most of the time. Is
Hmm.
it fire? It's been a minute. And
I mean, it's
it's just
probably
kind
fire.
of
If it's Fatalis, it's probably fire. That's
I'm pretty sure because he has like a few AoE attacks that just destroy everyone. So it's just kind of like it's up to you if you want to go full aggressive or if you want to have like maybe what's the first chick's name for healing? I can't remember.
I forget. I feel bad because I actually liked her.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah,
I feel bad. But
but
yeah, I don't know.
so I watched the Gaijin Hunter video like in the background.
Mm-hmm.
um, yesterday, and from what I gather, so you only have like a limited number of hunts you can do against Fatalis in the base game, which is like you said it was like 2 times you could fight Fatalis, right?
Yep.
And only 2 times. Like you can't re-challenge him after that.
Nope.
So that's like already you have to rely on RNG for your materials after the fight.
Yep.
So it's like pretty impossible to just make all the Fatalis equipment that you want,
And
right?
yeah, you got to either decide on the armor or the weapons, which I think I
That
went for the armor.
sucks.
It does, but now I believe you can fight it as many times as you want.
Okay,
But
with the event,
yeah,
but the
as
event
you
is
can
harder.
see, it much harder.
Okay,
Much harder.
and
But yeah, as you can see, it's insane. It
yeah,
takes out so much of your health.
so only the event has the limited number of turns. The normal quest that
Yeah.
you had to do before didn't.
Nah, like even as you could see in that clip, like that was 45 turns.
Yeah,
I could not tell you how many the event has, but yeah, it's crazy.
would you say it's
It
probably not above 45?
I don't think so. I can search it up real quick, but
Okay,
yeah, I
that
don't know.
is crazy to me because it goes against everything that Monster Hunter like stands for. If you think about it, like with the event,
Mhm.
they made it a bit easier. They made it a bit better because you can re-challenge the event over and over and over. But also, the event is like brutally difficult. But like, imagine if like in base Iceborne before the updates, you could only fight Ruiner Nergigante like 2 times.
Yeah.
Or what would be even worse? Imagine if you could only fight Fatalis 2 times in Iceborne. Like that. Like I feel like that's what
It just
happened
doesn't
here.
make sense.
You know, it's why would they do that? It's so mind-boggling to me. It's like, even if it was a thing where it was like you have to like complete this like complicated den in order to re-challenge Fatalis every time. It's like, well, at least you can re-challenge it like consistently, you know, instead of just being
Yeah.
able to fight it twice and then you're done.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's like even when it comes to like upgrading,
mhm.
it's like again, you either upgrade the armor or you upgrade the weapon. You do
Right.
not like it's very like fine
We're
tuned and
so
just like
afraid of making this set OP on this OP endgame monster. Like,
Yeah.
what other challenges are gonna be after Fatalis? Getting this like beefed up armor is like reward enough, you know? Like, why not let people just max out everything they want with that game? Oh, that's a completionist's nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
Especially considering like part of the guild card is if you want to max it out completely, you have to make all the weapons and all types of weapons as well. Because it counts that,
I
I
see.
believe.
I see.
So have fun.
Yeah, it seems like this has been pretty unpopular. I was looking at the general reactions to this
Yeah.
video.
Well,
People
even
have like yeah. Yeah, go
I don't
ahead.
know, even looking for seeing how many turns there is, like nobody has written how many turns there are. I can't find the answer anywhere.
I'll have to watch like a speed kill of someone doing like the absolute like busted
Yeah.
strategies and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um Man, that is so interesting to me. That because Monster Hunter has always prided itself as a series where it's just like just bash your face up against this wall over and over and over again so you can make all their shit and feel good about yourself,
Yeah.
you know? Then they introduce like before the event they were like, oh no, here's this limited time thing that you can only hunt twice. And you can't make all of it. So
Yeah.
the fuck your
I
ADHD.
I know, like that's exactly what happened when I beat my first Vitalis. It was like my chat members were screaming at me like, "Be careful what you make. It's very limited." And it's like, "Why? Why is it limited? Why can't I go fight this thing again
Yeah.
and like get the armor that is very OP?" Cuz yeah, if I remember correctly, the Vitalis armor is really nice.
Oh,
It's
I'm
got like
sure, yeah.
by far the highest defense and like really good skills.
I'm
But
sure, I'm sure.
I don't know.
Are you gonna try the event? You think?
I want to, but at the same time, I'm only level 70. I
Mhm.
gotta grind hard for it, and I still haven't finished the special Elder's Lair and the remaining floors that I have to do are such a pain in the ass.
Oh man,
There's like one where you have to go against Volcana, and it's very specific of what you have to do.
really?
You actually have to study the like you have to pick up like clues around the map or whatever. And then it says like if Volcano will start with like a blue move and then do another one, but then it will swap to a power move.
Mm.
So you have to do like what is it? Green, green, and then blue.
I forget
And
what the
then
triangle
it's
is. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's like if Velcana does this move, it's going to follow up with a power move, and if Velcana does this,
You need like a whole
it's
spreadsheet to figure this fight out.
literally. I literally searched up a walkthrough of how to do it because it's just like I'm not reading this crap and remembering it.
Reminds me
Like
of
I
like that's actually like pretty old school turn-based RPG design of
yeah,
like finding patterns and enemy movements and attack patterns and stuff.
yeah,
Which is
and
funny
it's
because that kind of works into Monster Hunter's actual gameplay of like trying to learn the patterns of a monster.
I guess, but it's so exact in Monster Hunter Stories too, where it's just like but the problem is, if you get one shot by Velkhana, like there's no way in hell you're gonna be able to complete it because
Start over.
again, you gotta wait for Velkhana to do a move and then you'll know its pattern,
Mm.
basically. So it's just kind of like it's what are you gonna do? I don't know. You didn't do anything. You did like this random move previously, so now I don't know what you're gonna do now. So I'm dead, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to recover.
It seems like they were really
So
dead set on like if you're trying to do endgame stuff, you're gonna be stuck there for a while.
yeah, I was stuck on Velkhana for a day, and I was just getting annoyed. And I was like, I'm just gonna watch a video and like follow this to a T.
And then make sure you download these DLC monsters. It might help you with the challenge that you're on. You
Yep.
nerd.
Yep.
You bad
Except
player.
the problem is your monster doesn't do any damage. You're the only person that does damage.
Wait, what?
I think that's what it was on on Velkhana.
No
It was
way.
what
Wait. Hold on.
it it was one of the fights where it's like your monster did no damage and you're the only person doing damage.
Is that part of its gimmick?
It it might have been for like the turn-based parts of the Elder Layer. I don't know. I just remember being so annoyed and being like, yeah, I love it when my partner and my monstie do like jack shit.
Mm.
And like I'm the only person doing anything until I knock the monster over.
Mm.
And then, oh man, this monstie's gonna do 2 damage because the monster's knocked over.
That is
It's
so weird to me that
there's
like
some
a
there's some
boss fight that just like
ridiculous.
completely invalidates an entire part of like an essential
Yep.
part pretty much of the game's combat. That's so weird to me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There's just some really ridiculous parts of the Super Elder's Lair, and I'm not super excited to go back to it.
Yeah, Stories 2 to me sounds like a game that doesn't have a particularly fun end game.
it it's something to behold, I guess. Like the Elder Lair was fun the first time I went through it, but now I'm doing it the second time, and everything just hits ridiculously hard. And just
Mm-hmm.
every after every fight, I have to go back to the village, re-heal, restock, go back, get absolutely destroyed again, and just go back and forth. It's I don't know.
So like
It's too much.
even if you have like a Rathlos that throws a fireball at Volcana, it'll still do
It
like
won't it won't do anything.
my god.
It doesn't do anything.
Like
It's
I thought
just
there was
like
something I was misunderstanding with what you were saying, but no, that's actually just what Volcana does, huh?
it's pretty much just like if the Rathalos doesn't attack the specific part
Mm-hmm.
or doesn't do the specific move type, it won't do anything. But chances are it won't do anything anyway.
Is it because of its ice armor? Like if it has ice
I think
armor
it
over a
is.
certain part of its body, it takes less damage there?
It does put up ice armor at one point, which you have to destroy, or else it'll
Mm-hmm.
keep like freezing you or something. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah,
But like
that sounds
it
about right.
yeah, I just the Volcana fight was just very annoying to me. I hated it. It just
It's like stark contrast to how the fight is in Iceborne, where it's like a
yeah,
dance and it's so wonderful.
yeah,
Arch
like
tempered Volcano is the
yeah,
best.
a chat member said that like they got a Teostra just for that fight and it still did 2 damage. Like
God damn, like the Fire Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
And it's like, can't do jack shit to the Ice Elder Dragon. That is, oh my god. Well, I mean, they wanted to devise a tough battle for you endgame. I guess that's good, as well as like the Fatalis stuff. You know, like, my god. I guess they didn't want you to rely on like overly like
I guess.
buffed shit brick house monsters that you have on your team at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, I can understand why, but at the same time, it's like I already know who I am as a writer. Let me use the thing that I've been using this entire game. Don't let me just rely on my brain because I don't have one.
God, I thought you said writer, not rider. I was like, wait, what?
Writer. Yeah, I'm actually a writer. I've been a
Chronicling
scholar.
my Monster Hunter story. Yeah, that's my new proposed weapon for Monster Hunter is a book,
Oh man, yeah.
but it has to transform too. So it's a book that
It's a
transforms
book.
into an open book.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know. I'm thought long and hard about this.
You're going real far with that, Tam. I don't know
Yeah.
if the world's ready for that.
I don't know, but was there anything else? I think that's about it for like the topics that we wanted to touch on, huh?
Yeah. Stories is still throwing huge curveballs. Still
Oh,
haven't gone clear on
one more
Rise,
thing.
Magnamello.
One more thing. And it's not huge, but I think it's worth mentioning is that yeah, it's gonna be called Master Rank in Sunbreak.
Oh yeah.
Capcom just straight up tweeted a few days ago, it was like Sunbreak will introduce the Master Rank quests to Monster Hunter Rise, and I'm like, yep, yeah, no, they're done with G rank. It's not G rank anymore. You're no longer Gs. You're masters now.
Yeah, you're no longer a G. You are a M.
Honestly, that's kind of a upgrade, right? That's a promotion.
I guess.
Depends on where you're from, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still like G rank, but at the same time, I can kind of understand why they kind
I
of.
mean, it literally makes
normalized
no
it.
difference other than just the name.
Yeah, I mean, people are still gonna be butthurt and be like, I
Yeah.
remember when we used to be G ranks, and when this used to be G2 and
Eh,
G3.
Don't
Now
worry.
it's MI1.
Don't worry. There'll be
It's-
the PC mod that replaces every instance of Master to G. You know.
I'll make sure to just, I don't know, roll my eyes at those.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's such an insignificant, like, I don't know, people like, I mean, at first I was kind of like, oh, but then it's kind of like, why do I care? It's still
Yeah.
the game.
Why would you care? Like that's
No.
the thing. It's like it's just, okay. It's Master Rank now. It makes more sense, and it's not like it's hard to say already. It's Master Rank.
No. Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Just-
I'm just excited for Sunbreak as a whole.
Yeah. Well, I think I feel like we're due for like a Sunbreak, like Nintendo Direct, if you will, a Sunbreak Monster Hunter Direct soon-ish. They did say that they want to do one before release, so who knows when that will be? Maybe like sometime next year.
It'll be like an hour release of every single monster coming out in the game.
Oh my god! Like,
we'll
and
just
I would
like, be
watch
watching.
it, and I would watch it and hate myself throughout as they
I
start
know.
drawing bomb after bomb.
We'll just be like, please stop! Don't show anymore.
No,
Stop,
they gotta
please.
play. We gotta reveal Gormagala, or else no one's gonna play this game. We gotta ruin the surprise for everyone.
Please, we're already buying the game. You don't need to beat it. No. Yeah, I really hope that they don't show anything.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a podcast then, eh?
Yeah.
That's a podcast.
Again, these are a little bit shorter because we also don't have Karada here.
Yeah, and also we've been trying to trim down the fat a bit. So
Yeah.
hope you guys understand. But hey, Forrest, where can people find you?
At twitch.tv/ForestRaider.
And you can find me at twitch.tv/tamjamming. And you can find Karata at twitch.tv/Karata-sama. Go give him your love. Go give all of us love.
Go
but especially
slap us with love.
You don't slap me too hard though. Oh god.
Oh,
I
man.
bruise really easily.
Please, no, not again.
No, not the love slap. Stop. All right.
Thanks for.
Yeah, thanks. You guys were great. We'll see you all next weekend.
Much love.
Goodbye.